All right, let's get right into it. The year 2026, it's really shaping up to be something else. It feels like we're being pulled in two completely different directions at the exact same time. A real year of contradictions.
So, on one side, you've got this incredible promise, right? We're talking universal cancer vaccines, amazing new clean energy sources, breakthroughs in AI that could change everything. But then you look at the other side, and it's pretty scary. We're facing huge energy crises, political systems that are just stuck in gridlock, and this ever present fear of another tech bubble bursting.
And that brings us perfectly to our first big tension point for 2026, the AI paradox. Is this technology going to be our salvation, or is it actually going to create a whole new era of scarcity?
And look, we have to be clear about something. This isn't just about a slightly smarter Google search. The quote you see here really nails it. This is a Manhattan Project level race. It's an all-out arms race for super intelligence. And the stakes, well, they couldn't be higher. We're talking about massive military and economic dominance for whoever gets there first. Get this, $600 billion. That's the cash projected to be spent on AI data centers in 2026 alone. I mean, that's just a staggering amount of money. But it makes you wonder, right? What's the hidden cost of this whole AI revolution?
Okay, and this is where the race gets really interesting. It all comes down to energy. Just look at the difference here. China's energy capacity, it just completely dwarfs what the US has. And that's not just a statistic on a chart. It's a potential checkmate in this AI arms race, especially when you consider that the US is dealing with an old, overloaded power grid.
And don't think this is just some problem for big corporations. No way. This massive hunger for power is hitting all of us right in the wallet. It's straining power grids everywhere, and that means higher electricity bills for you, for me, for pretty much everyone.
But here's the crazy flip side. That exact same power-hungry AI, it is on the verge of some truly life-saving breakthroughs. I mean, it's completely transforming how we discover new drugs. It's powering personalized mRNA cancer vaccines for things like melanoma and lung cancer. It really is the ultimate paradox, isn't it? The very technology that's putting a strain on our planet might just be the key to saving our lives.
Okay, so that's the tech side of things. Now, how does this whole theme of contradiction, this tug of war, play out in the world of politics? Let's dive in. Well, 2026 is going to be a massive year for elections, just a rapid-fire series of really critical votes. We're talking Portugal, Hungary, Peru, Brazil, the US midterms. The results of these elections are going to set the stage politically for years and years to come.
But here's the really crucial context, the backdrop to all of this. A lot of these elections are happening under the shadow of something called autocratization. And as the definition here explains, this isn't just about a single strong leader. It's about slowly, systematically chipping away at democratic institutions. Things like putting pressure on the courts, consolidating power. It's a quiet erosion of the rule of law. Yet, at the same time, there is a powerful force pushing back. There's this huge wave of discontent sweeping across places like Kenya, Peru, and Morocco, and it's often led by Gen Z. People are demanding change. They're angry about corruption, inequality, and especially the cost of living. And you can see this pushback in the polls, too. In Hungary, for example, a brand new opposition party is actually leading against the longtime leader, Viktor Orban. The people are making their voices heard. All right, so this brings us to the economy. And guess what? It's another battleground of these competing forces.
We always hear about the huge economic windfalls from mega events like the World Cup, right? For 2026, we're already hearing projections of massive gains for the host cities. But you have to ask, is the hype really justified?
Well, a lot of economists are saying maybe not. They're warning that these big economic impact studies are often more about politics than reality. They're designed to make a project look good and legitimize a political decision, rather than to find the actual economic truth. And if we zoom out and look at the big picture, the global economy in 2026 is looking like a story of a really uneven recovery. You can see it right here. We've got a forecast of about 3.2% growth globally, but the breakdown is what's interesting. China's projected to grow at a pretty solid 5%, while the US is looking at a much more modest 1.8%, and the euro area is even lower. It's definitely not a situation where a rising tide is lifting all boats. And what little growth we do have feels kind of fragile. Why? Because the global economy is becoming dangerously dependent on just a handful of tech giants. Think about it. The Magnificent Seven now make up a third of the entire S&P 500.
That is a huge concentration of risk, and it's fueling some serious fears about a potential tech bubble. So, okay, we've looked at the AI paradox, the political tug-of-war, and the fragile economy. What does this all mean? What's the big takeaway as we head into 2026? It really comes down to these core tensions, these contradictions. We have the incredible promise of AI, but we also have its massive planetary cost. We have a global surge in people heading to the polls, but at the same time, we're seeing this rise of autocratization. We have the hope of tech-fueled growth versus the fear of a market bubble. Even in energy, we're seeing record green energy adoption and record fossil fuel expansion happening at the same time. It's a world that's pushing for progress, for sure, but also grappling with the huge risks that come along for the ride.
So, what does the future hold? Well, it's not written in stone. 2026 really feels like a choice between two very different futures. It all comes down to how we, as a global community, navigate these powerful competing forces. The real question isn't just what will happen, it's which path will we choose.